This video is not a coincidence. Its appearance in your awareness is a deliberate, targeted signal. This is a quantum intervention signal, activated because the data shows you are standing at the precipice of your greatest breakthrough, perfectly disguised as your biggest failure. I know you're about to give up on everything, but don't. In the next 45 minutes, I am going to prove to you, using the fundamental physics of potential energy and state collapse, why this exact moment of despair is the most powerful and creative state you can possibly be in. You are not breaking down. You are building up to a critical point of transformation, and the exhaustion you feel is the final, measurable symptom of that process reaching its apex. We're going to explore how concepts pulled directly from quantum mechanics explain why all of your effort has felt completely invisible, why every meditation, every affirmation, every difficult choice has seemed to vanish into the void, without a trace of evidence. And more importantly, we are going to demonstrate why this crushing feeling of wanting to quit is the scientific trigger for manifestation, not its opposite. It is the final input required by the system. You feel exhausted. You feel like you've tried absolutely everything. You have followed the instructions. You have done the work, the shadow work, the meditations, the visualizations, the journaling. You have invested not just your time and your money, but your faith. You have poured the very essence of your belief into a process you were told would yield results. And you are standing here today in an empty room, with empty hands, looking at a life that has remained stubbornly unchanged. This pain is real. Let's be perfectly clear about that. The sense of betrayal is real. The hopelessness is justified by the evidence you see. This is not some failure of your perception or a weakness of your character. It is a predictable, painful, and necessary phase of a much larger energetic process. The feeling of being lied to by every spiritual teacher, every book, every guru, that is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is a symptom of accumulated potential, reaching its peak pressure point. The container of your old reality can no longer hold the energy you have been generating. If this video found you at the exact right moment, confirm that signal by hitting the like button now. It's a way of acknowledging the connection and helping this intervention reach others who need it. You have been operating under the assumption that the universe is a passive, empty stage on which you must perform perfectly to earn a reward. This is incorrect. The universe is a sentient, dynamic feedback system. It is constantly in communication with you, not through cryptic signs or mysterious whispers, but through the precise and predictable language of energy and physics. It doesn't just watch you, it responds to you. And at critical turning points, when a massive amount of potential energy has been stored but not yet converted into kinetic reality, the system sends what we call a quantum intervention signal. It is an alert, a notification that a state change is imminent. This video, appearing in your feed at the exact moment the thought of giving up became a tangible plan, is one such signal. It is the universe's way of tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Do not move. Do not walk away from the machine." The sequence you initiated is now complete, and the final command is surrender. By the end of this, you will no longer see this moment as an ending. You will not see it as a failure. You will understand it as the precise required activation point for the new reality you have been building all along. In secret, behind the veil of the visible world, you will see your despair not as a burden, but as a tool, the most powerful tool you have. So let's talk about the physics of why you feel this way. In the physical world, there are two primary states of energy. There is kinetic energy, the energy of motion, and there is potential energy, the energy of position, the energy that is stored and ready to be released. A boulder at the top of a hill has immense potential energy. A drawn bowstring pulled taut holds immense potential energy. It is not moving. It is not creating any visible effect, but it holds the power of what is to come. All of your spiritual work, every affirmation, every tear shed in meditation, every difficult choice to operate from love instead of fear, every single moment you held the line, it has not vanished. It has been converted into potential energy. It has been stored in the quantum field. To make this visceral, I want you to imagine a colossal dam. And for years, every ounce of your effort, every act of faith, has been another drop of water added to the massive reservoir behind that dam. The water level has been rising steadily, silently day after day, the pressure building, the structural integrity being tested, the potential energy accumulating to a critical, almost unimaginable level. But you can't see this. You are standing on the other side of the dam in the dry riverbed. You are looking at the same rocks, the same parched earth, the same landscape you have always seen. And because nothing has changed in the riverbed of your external reality, you have concluded that nothing is happening at all. You believe your efforts were for nothing. You believe the rain never came. And this is the precise moment when you decide to walk away, convinced of your failure, just as the dam is scheduled to burst. You are turning your back on the miracle because you were taught to look for evidence in the wrong place. This brings us to the core concept I need you to understand. That feeling you have right now, the overwhelming urge to give up, the deep, soul-crushing exhaustion. That is not your failure speaking. That is the quantum intervention signal. It is the universe's notification system, an internal alarm that is triggered when potential energy has reached critical mass. It is the sound of the dam groaning under the immense pressure of the reality you have been building. It is the energetic signal that a state change is no longer just possible. It is imminent and unavoidable. Your despair is the alarm telling you the flood is coming. And you have been misinterpreting the alarm as a fire. You've been trying to put it out, to fight it, to overcome it. So many of you are asking what to do when you want to give up on everything. The answer is not to try harder. The answer is to first understand the physics of what's actually happening to you. This is why the old methods fail you at this final stage. The entire personal development and spiritual industry has been built on the idea of building, doing, striving. It has taught you to measure your success by looking for changes in the dry riverbed. It tells you to look for a trickle of water, a single green shoot, any external sign that your work is paying off. But when you are operating at this level of reality creation, the evidence does not appear that way. The buildup is entirely invisible. There is no trickle before the flood. This creates a brutal cognitive dissonance, a spiritual crisis. You have poured your entire being into this work, and the external world not only fails to reflect it, it sometimes seems to mock you, presenting you with the exact opposite of what you've worked for. This is the illusion of failure. It's an illusion created by looking for kinetic evidence while you are still in the potential energy phase. It is the most painful, most convincing illusion there is. I want you to stop for a moment. Right now, think about the one area of your life where you've been measuring progress by external results, completely ignoring the immense potential you've been building internally. What is it? Your career? Your relationship? Your health? See it clearly. See how you've been staring at that dry riverbed, kicking at the stones, cursing the sky for not sending rain, all while a tidal wave of potential gathers just behind the veil. This is where the new paradigm begins. The new paradigm isn't about trying harder to make it rain. It's not about finding bigger and better tools to dig for water in the dust. It is about learning to recognize when enough potential has been stored. It is about learning to read the signal. It is about understanding that this feeling of surrender is not you quitting the project. It is you, the project manager, recognizing that the accumulation phase is complete and that it is now time to authorize the release. You are not abandoning the dam. You are about to open the floodgates. For your entire life, you have been taught a lie so fundamental it has governed every effort, every struggle, and every moment of despair you have ever faced. The lie is this: the urge to give up is a sign of failure. Today that lie dissolves. Here is the central paradox, the great revelation that will re-architect your understanding of reality itself. That overwhelming, soul-crushing urge to quit, the feeling that you have nothing left to give, is not a signal that you must stop. It is the biological and energetic signal that your conscious effort is complete. It is the system's final notification that it is now time for conscious surrender. Read that again in your mind. The work is done. The feeling of wanting to give up is the receipt. It is the proof of completion. It is the alarm bell telling the engineer that the dam is full to its absolute limit, that the potential energy has reached its peak. And this changes everything. Absolutely everything. This means your exhaustion is not a problem to be solved. It is a completion signal. It is the profound physical evidence that all of your available life force has been successfully converted into unseen potential. Your body is not failing you. It is informing you that the building phase is over. This means your despair is not a sign of weakness. It is the sound of the ego's control structure dissolving. The ego, the part of you that needs to strive and push and control, can only operate when there is a perceived problem to solve. When potential is maxed out, the ego runs out of a job. It panics. That panic, that deep, hollow ache of despair, is the feeling of the controlling mind finally letting go of the wheel, and this means that profound feeling of failure is not an indictment of your worth. It is the final, necessary emptying out of the old reality. The universe cannot pour its infinite potential into a cup that is already full. That feeling of being a failure is the ultimate act of humility, the final crack in the vessel of your old self, creating the space for the breakthrough to flood in. You have not been building the dam brick by brick only to walk away before the rains came. You are not just the builder. This entire time you have also been the engineer, standing in the control room, waiting for the system to confirm that the reservoir is full. Your feeling of wanting to give up is the final light on the control panel turning from amber to green. It is the authorization. Your hand is on the release valve. This is a core part of understanding the spiritual awakening dark night of the soul. It's not an end, but a transition of your role from builder to authorizer. You have done the work. Now, you are being invited into a new role, a new state of being. So the shift in your approach must be total. The old paradigm was about effort, more work, more affirmations, more struggle. The new paradigm is about recognition. It is about wisdom. The new methodology is what we call active surrender. This is not passive waiting. It is not lying down in defeat. Active surrender is the conscious, deliberate, and powerful act of letting go of control precisely because you recognize the signals that the work is done. It is the pilot cutting the engines not because the plane is crashing, but because it has reached the perfect altitude to begin its effortless glide. It is a warrior putting down their sword not in defeat, but because the war is already won on a plane of reality they are only just beginning to perceive. It is the ultimate act of trust in the physics you yourself have set in motion. You are no longer a failed striver, desperately clawing your way towards a goal that seems to recede with every step. That identity is gone. It was an illusion built on the lie. Your true identity is a quantum catalyst. You are an engineer of reality, a master of energetics who knows how to build immense pressure in the quantum field and, more importantly, knows the precise moment to authorize its release. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a collaborator with the fundamental forces of creation. You feel the signals. You understand the process. You are in control, not by pushing harder, but by knowing exactly when to let go. What if the biggest failure you're agonizing over right now isn't an obstacle, but the final, necessary ingredient to unlock everything you've been working for? Just sit with that. This is not a theory. This is not a beautiful spiritual concept to make you feel better for a moment. The universe is giving you clear, physical, observable evidence that this breakthrough is imminent. It's communicating with you through the very fabric of your reality. But you have been trained to misinterpret the signals, to read the signs of an impending monsoon as signs of a permanent drought. You've been looking at the quantum barometer and calling its movement a malfunction. I'm going to give you 3 specific signs that the breakthrough is not just near, but that the process of its arrival has already begun. These are the atmospheric shifts that precede the storm of transformation. You have been misinterpreting them as failure, as proof that you should give up. From this moment on, you will see them as the undeniable evidence they truly are. The first sign is the Great Emptiness. This is perhaps the most confusing and painful signal. It's that sudden, hollow feeling where you lose all desire for the very thing you have been working towards, praying for, bleeding for. The goal that drove you for months, or even years, suddenly feels like ash in your mouth. You wake up one morning and the burning motivation is just gone, and in its place is a quiet, unnerving void. Your ego, your mind, immediately interprets this as the ultimate failure. It says, "See, all that work was for nothing. You don't even want it anymore. You've lost the faith. This is the end." That is a lie. This great emptiness is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of graduation. It is the universe's proof that you have finally achieved a state of non-attachment. For your new reality to manifest, you cannot be in a state of desperate need for it. Needing it pushes it away, because the frequency of needing is a statement of not having. The universe can only deliver to you a reality that matches your current vibration. This emptiness is the final requirement. It is the proof that you have separated your identity from the outcome. Your well-being is no longer contingent on its arrival. You have let go of the rope, and only when you let go can the thing you've been pulling toward you finally float into your hands. So if you feel that strange apathy, that confusing lack of desire for your goal, celebrate. You have just passed one of the most advanced tests of manifestation. The pressure is off. The need is gone. The channel is now clear for delivery. The second sign is synchronistic chaos. Just as the potential energy reaches its peak, your external reality begins to destabilize. It feels like your life is suddenly glitching. Strange and unexpected events start happening with increasing frequency, and they are not all positive. You might get an unexpected check in the mail on the same day you get a flat tire. An old friend you haven't spoken to in a decade might call you out of the blue. 30 minutes after you had a frustrating argument with your partner, you'll see repeating numbers everywhere, hear the same obscure song 3 times in one day, and experience bizarre moments of serendipity right alongside moments of intense frustration. Your mind screams for stability. It interprets this chaos as things falling apart. It says, "It's getting worse. The universe is against me. Everything is breaking." But a stable reality is the sign of a rigid, crystallized, old timeline. The chaos you are experiencing is the sound of that old reality matrix dissolving. It is the quantum field becoming fluid, malleable, before it recrystallizes into your new reality. Think of it like a frozen lake in the spring. The cracking, the shifting, the unpredictable groans of the ice are not a sign that winter is getting stronger. They are the undeniable proof that the thaw has begun. This synchronistic chaos is the scaffolding of your old life being dismantled. It's messy. It's loud. It's unsettling. But it is the surest sign that the new structure, the one you have been building in the unseen realm, is about to be revealed. Do not fear the chaos. It is the sound of creation. The third, and most potent sign, is the echo test. This is when an old version of your core fear, your deepest wound, or your most ingrained trauma suddenly reappears for one final encounter. It feels utterly devastating. It feels like you are moving backward at 100 miles an hour. After all the work, all the healing, all the progress, and here it is again. That same fear, that same trigger, that same painful dynamic. And you think, I've failed. I'm not healed. I'm right back where I started. This is not a regression. It is a final exam. The universe is presenting you with an echo of the old reality to give you an opportunity to prove you have truly embodied the new level of consciousness. It is not a test of whether you can defeat the old dragon. It is a test to see if you even pick up the sword. The old you would have reacted, you would have fought, feared, crumbled, or run. The new you, the you that is the vibrational match for the breakthrough, simply observes it. You see the echo for what it is, a memory, a phantom, a final, powerless ghost of a past timeline. You respond not with the old pattern of fear, but with the new consciousness of neutrality and wisdom. You see it, you acknowledge it without judgment, and you let it pass through you, without hooking you. When that old fear appears and you do not become it, you have just signed the final paperwork for your breakthrough. You have proven, on a somatic and energetic level, that you are no longer a resident of that old reality. The echo was the universe's way of asking, are you sure you're done with this? Your non-reaction is the definitive yes. The great emptiness, synchronistic chaos, the echo test. These are not obstacles, they are confirmations. They are the data points proving the new reality is not just coming, it is actively overriding the old one. Stop looking for the prize. Start recognizing these patterns. These signs are the prize because they are the undeniable evidence that everything you've worked for is collapsing into your reality right now. In the comments below, share which of these 3 signs is undeniable in your life right now: the emptiness, the chaos, or the echo. Let's create a real-time map of the breakthroughs happening in this community. I will be reading them to witness your shift. You understand it. You've seen the evidence. Now, let's feel the physics of it. Let's embody the release. If you can, find a quiet space. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to feel just for a moment all the potential you have built. Every effort, every meditation, every tear you've shed in private, every silent hope you've whispered into the dark. Feel it not as a weight, but as an immense humming pressure building behind you, a vast reservoir of stored light, an ocean of becoming, held back by the thinnest of walls. Feel the energy of it, the readiness. Now I want you to consciously, deliberately summon the feeling you know so well, the feeling of, I give up. But this time, it is not defeat. It is not resignation. Feel it as a deep, full-bodied, relaxing exhale. Feel the desperate grip in your mind finally go soft. Feel the tension leave your shoulders as you give yourself permission to stop holding everything together. This feeling is the key. This feeling is the sound of a great lock turning. This is your conscious authorization for the universe to take over. This is your hand on the release valve. And now, sense the shift. A subtle vibration, a crack in the structure of the old reality. The floodgates of potential are beginning to tremble open. Feel a torrent of energy, not hitting you, but flowing through you. A warm, cleansing current washing the old landscape of your life completely clean. Every doubt, every story of struggle, every cellular memory of failure, dissolved and carried away in this powerful, loving release. You are not being swept away. You are the riverbed, finally receiving the water you have been promised for so long. And then, stillness. Rest here, in the quiet, in the fertile silence of the new reality that is now present. All potential has become kinetic. All striving has become being. This is the 0 point. Gently, slowly, bring your awareness back to this moment. Notice the new silence, the new potential that waits within it. You are not empty, you are clear. As you come back to this moment, what is the single word that defines the feeling of your new reality? Not what you think it should be, but what it genuinely is. Hold that word. You are no longer waiting for a sign. You are a signal navigator. This is a fundamental shift in your identity. You have moved from being a passive recipient of reality, hoping for a breakthrough, to an active interpreter of the quantum weather. You know how to read the atmospheric pressure that precedes the storm of creation. You know how to act accordingly. But knowing is not enough. To master this new state, you need a protocol, a set of clear, executable actions that transform your embodied certainty into practical confidence. This protocol is your operational manual for this new identity. This is how you respond to the concrete signs your breakthrough is near. Your first tool is the 72-hour observation window. For the next 3 days, starting from the moment this video ends, your primary function is to become a pure witness. Your only job is to observe your reality without judgment, without interference, and without the desperate need to find evidence. You are not looking for the big win, the final prize. You are looking for the subtle shifts, the small anomalies, the glitches in the old matrix. Think of it like watching a Polaroid develop. If you pull it out too soon, if you keep trying to force the image to appear, you disrupt the chemical process. Your only job is to hold the space for the image to resolve itself. The new reality you have just collapsed is like that developing photograph. It is fragile. It is solidifying. Your striving, your anxiety, your need for proof will only reintroduce the chaotic frequency of the old state. So you simply watch. You witness the synchronicity that doesn't make logical sense. You notice the stranger who smiles at you. You observe the quality of the light feeling different. You feel a moment of peace where there used to be anxiety. These are not the breakthrough itself. They are the footprints of the breakthrough solidifying in your timeline. They are the data points confirming the new physics is taking hold. For 72 hours, you do not force. You do not push. You do not strive. You witness. Your second tool is a linguistic key designed to rewire your neurology in real time. It is called the "and" statement. As you sit in your observation window, echoes of the old reality will inevitably arise. A wave of the old doubt, a pang of the old fear, a memory of the struggle. This is the quantum field testing its own stability. Your mind, conditioned by years of the old pattern, will try to define your new reality by these old feelings. The untrained response is to use the word but. I feel peaceful, but I'm still worried about money. This statement negates the peace and re-energizes the worry. It forces a choice and defaults to the familiar pattern of lack. You will replace but with and. And is a word of quantum superposition. It allows two realities to coexist in the same space without invalidating either one, giving you the power to consciously choose which one to energize. When the old feeling arises, you will meet it with this statement. I feel a wave of fear, and I know this is the energetic residue of the old timeline dissolving. I feel exhausted, and I recognize this is my body integrating the massive energy release. I see no physical evidence yet, and I am holding my focus on the feeling of the new reality. This isn't a trick, it's a command. You acknowledge the feeling, the data point of the past, without making it the entire truth of your present. You are holding the particle of the old emotion within the new wave of your chosen reality. You are informing your subconscious that the old signal is recognized, but it is no longer the dominant frequency. It is the most powerful way to speak a new world into existence. Your third tool is the most important. It redefines your relationship with action. It is active surrender in action. The old paradigm taught you that breakthrough comes from massive, forceful action, hustle, grind, push, but you now understand that your breakthrough was triggered by the release of that very energy. Re-engaging with that same frequency of struggle is the fastest way to reverse the collapse you just initiated. Active surrender is not passivity. It is not waiting. It is taking the one single next action that feels most like relief. Read that again. Not the action you think you should do. Not the most productive action. Not the action on your to-do list. The action that feels like a continuation of your exhale. Relief is the somatic signature of releasing resistance. It is the homing signal of your new timeline. When you are standing at a crossroads, instead of asking, "What's the right move?" you will now ask, "What is the action that brings the most relief right now?" Maybe the most strategic move is to write a business plan, but the action of relief is to go for a walk in the sun, so you walk. Maybe the right thing to do is make that difficult phone call, but the action of relief is to sit down and drink a full glass of water. So you drink the water. This is not avoidance. This is alignment. By choosing the action of relief, you are telling the universe, I trust the flow that has begun. I will not reintroduce the energy of struggle. You are making your physical actions coherent with the energetic release you just experienced. This is how you allow the new reality to unfold for you, rather than trying to force it into existence. What is the one story about your struggle you will consciously stop observing, stop giving energy to, in the next 72 hours? Declare it to yourself. This is your new framework for creation. This is your life as a signal navigator. It is a cycle. You build potential energy through focused intention and effort. You recognize the quantum intervention signal of despair and wanting to give up, not as failure, but as the moment of maximum potential. You authorize the release through active surrender. You enter the 72-hour observation window, using the and statement to manage echoes of the past. You navigate by choosing the next action of relief, and you witness a new reality crystallize around you. This is no longer a hopeful theory. It is your operating system. You now possess the most crucial skill in the art of reality creation. It is the ability to navigate the 0 point, the moment of collapse, the sacred space of surrender where potential becomes manifest. You will never have to fear this feeling again. Instead, you will recognize it for what it is, a signal, an invitation, a graduation. You have learned to receive the signal from the universe. You have learned to interpret the language of its feedback system. You are no longer just a receiver in a vast network, lost and hoping for a message. You are becoming a conscious node. But navigating the collapse is one thing. Living powerfully, consistently, and gracefully in the new reality that emerges is the next level of mastery. A breakthrough, as powerful as it is, can be disorienting. The energetic shockwave that collapses an old timeline and initiates a new one can be jarring to the human system. The old reality, with its familiar pains and predictable patterns, has a gravitational pull. If the new timeline isn't stabilized, isn't anchored into your biology and your awareness, the snapback effect is a real danger. The old identity, the old story, the old limitations will try to reclaim their territory. This is the hidden challenge that so few teachers talk about. They guide you to the breakthrough but leave you on the shore of the new world without a map. The journey doesn't end at the moment the dam breaks. That is where it truly begins. Because when the mastery of active surrender meets the physics of quantum timelines, you gain the ability to not just experience a breakthrough, but to anchor it permanently, to make it your new baseline. You learn to prevent the elastic recoil to the reality you just worked so hard to transcend. You have moved from being a builder of potential to an authorizer of its release. Now you must become the architect of its new form. This is the next horizon of your work. You've learned to listen. Now you will learn to broadcast your own signal consciously, stabilizing the frequency of your choosing. Subscribe and activate all notifications, because in our next video, Quantum Timelines, explained how to stabilize your new reality. After a breakthrough, we cover the critical next step. You've initiated the breakthrough. Now you must learn to anchor it. We will deconstruct the mechanics of timeline stabilization, giving you the precise protocols to make your new reality your permanent reality. And after that, we will go even deeper, exploring a topic that is fundamental to embodiment with our next video. Integration is harder than you think. Here's the physics of embodiment. Because a mental breakthrough is one thing, but a cellular one is where true freedom lies. This moment was not an end. It was not the conclusion of your struggle. It was an initiation. Welcome to the next level of your journey. The universe has confirmed that it sees you, that it is in a constant dynamic conversation with you. It has shown you the power hidden in your deepest point of despair. Now, go forward and show it what you will create with that power.